up, guys?
You're building a house on 56,000, right? 56?
96.
Before we go any further, I did some work on his house. I probably should recuse myself for this
All
here.
right.
All right, so this is what I have over there now. It's probably wet for maybe 3 months in the springtime, and then goes down, dries up in the summer, and then if we get some slushy days in the winter, it's seasonal wetland, I think they call it, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see if I could make it a permanent wetland, make it a pond.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. The one that could help you with that is Gary Peterson. You know Gary?
No.
You know, with Peterson Farmers, Minix, you know where Minix lives?
Yes.
And the very next farm is Gary.
Yep.
And Bruce Peterson put in a pond years ago, and they went through everything with DCR and everything. And I know he's got all those plans. They're very meticulous people, so I know they've got them. That might be able to help you out.
Do they
quite a
need to
bit.
do that, though, with the, it's already existing?
It's seasonal, now he wants to keep water in it, permanent.
Does it ever dry up completely?
Yes. The whole, till probably November, or like I said, unless you get some slushy days. It's probably gonna dry up at maybe June. Next month it probably dries up for 6 months probably. 6 months on, 6 months off.
Julie, what do you think? What's his best move here?
How big of an area is it?
Probably,
I'd say like 80 by 60.
We don't wanna call it a wetland, because you'd be altering a wetland,
No,
even though you wanna make it into a pond.
well, he's got trees he's gonna wanna cut too, which,
So, you wanna call it a low-lying drainage area that dries up, and it has no significant wetland
okay.
characteristics. You wanna excavate it out to whatever depth, and that's just you may not even need to, it's not considered a wetland, it's not within 100 feet of a buffer,
No,
therefore, sorry, you guys don't need to. So you should do a determination of applicability to see if you guys call it a wetland or not. If you don't call it a wetland, it goes on the ways and.
okay, you can do that by filing an RDA at our next meeting,
That's the best way you can do it.
and then ask us
Okay.
to determine what this land is, then we'll define it. And once we've defined it, then you can move from there.
Let me see what they wrote on this one. I think I do have it in the isolated wetland pocket.
Yep, that's what you're looking for, isolated
Isolated
wetland.
land subject to flooding,
Perfect.
whatever it is.
You're just gonna make it a bigger area subject to flooding, therefore you're not causing a problem.
Okay,
So
so
what
what
they'll
do,
do in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, if you alter a wetland, you have to replicate your wetland.
yeah, I know,
Well,
that's
they
why
got a pond.
I called you guys
Yeah.
first before I did anything. I
Right.
didn't wanna,
that was smart. So just-
all right, so what's my next step?
Toby will tell you where to file, right, Toby? You got,
If I can have your email, I can send you the form for it, and, you know, you can fill it out and.
And you've got an engineer on this, or is this just your plot plan? Robert Smith, land surveyor.
and Danny, come in next meeting, we'll do a determination of, what, negative determination, so we're gonna?
Be a negative,
Yeah.
yeah. You need to stake it off, and we'll have to do a site visit. Just call me when you get it staked off, where you're gonna do it,
Just take off of what okay,
where it's gonna be, and then it's gonna be defined. I'm gonna have to have a print. So if you don't have an engineer, there's one. If you don't, there's a lot of them around. You can use
Okay.
anybody you want. I don't
okay.
care. But I need a piece of paper that actually states where it is.
Do I need to have it all de-engineered before I come back next month and stake it out?
It would help, because we've got to state that it's not wetlands. You know,
Okay,
It's under our jurisdiction, but this is no different really than a dry well on a road. You know, we picked those up for like 4 or 5 years, and then they're not part of our jurisdiction. We
okay,
run into that with MassDOT all the time,
okay.
right?
Do you have an email?
Yeah, it's my last name, Santamaw, SANTIMAW, contracting @gmail,
No spaces in there?
no spaces. So fill out this paperwork, stake it out, and if I can,
Just call Toby, she'll tell me it's there, and then
We'll get you on for the next meeting.
we'll get you on for the next meeting.
all right, and try to get it surveyed before I come back, or?
Yeah, define it, just
Would-
put in a couple grade stakes, just show me where it's gonna be. I mean, you can do a final one if you want, once you do, if you're building a house, you're gonna pin your foundation anyway, right?
The house is built,
Oh, it's already built,
yeah, yeah.
all right. Yeah, I need to know where it is on the paper. So if you could have him just place it where
Okay,
it's gonna be.
like this for that.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
I need
Thanks,
to know
guys.
how far away it is from your, well, if you've got one, or septic system, that type stuff,
Okay,
all right?
all right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Longman?
I'm Robert Longden, I'm an attorney with the law firm of Bowditch, Dewey and Worcester, and I represent Salem Community Corporation and the Briarwood Continuing Care Retirement Community. This is a request to have you review, and if you feel necessary, approve a open space restriction for the expansion of the Briarwood project. Under your zoning bylaw, for a project of this type, at least 25% of the site needs to be open space, subject to a restriction as to its use and non-use as well. I believe you've received a copy of an open space restriction that Mr. McNally and I have discussed and frankly collaborated on for the last several months. It's also been reviewed by town council, it's my understanding, and we think it provides the protections the town needs with regard to the open space for this particular project. There's also a plan. I don't know that you received a copy of it,
I believe we have the whole thing.
but there is a recorded plan that shows the open space, which is the checked area on the plan, and shows you where that space is located within the Briarwood project. And again, it totals approximately a little over 8 acres. Total acreage is 30.5 acres, so it's greater than 25%.
So this project here is not underway as yet, right?
Yes,
It is.
it is. It was approved. We received an amendment to the existing special permit and site plan approval in August of, I think, 2018. Let's get a date for me. August 3rd, 2018.
So they started the construction?
Yes.
So, I know you're doing something for the future, you left some part of development for the future.
Yes,
Is that also come with the 8 acres, include that
Yes.
also?
yes, it
Alright,
does.
so When that's done, it will still have 8 acres left.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Nothing familiar with that there. What are those dwellings gonna be? Retirement?
Yes, this is a retirement community. These are elderly people. Many are self-sufficient, and of the proposed units that are going to be constructed, 24 are going to be what are called independent living units that are similar to the existing units that are up there that are occupied by people who are self-sufficient. There's going to be 12 units that are what are called memory care units for people who have
Alzheimer's, dementia?
also dementia, various forms of dementia. And then there will be 16 future apartments that are not being built presently, will be built in the future as need arises, and whether they will be independent living units, whether they will be memory units, or whether they'll be what's called assisted living units, will depend upon what the demand is at that time. But that's the plan at this point.
Gotcha. And this, Vinnie's already signed on this.
Vinnie signed off on it, yeah.
Let me see if we can.
Planning board reviewed it, town council reviewed it, so.
And they're good with it? Good? John?
You good with it? Yeah. Make a motion?
Kyle, have you seen this?
I haven't seen that breakdown, no. I read the-
Is that a map that we can keep, or?
Yes.
Is that?
We have one, well, I have one. not
If you
big
like
enough.
that one, you can keep it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Make a motion to approve, the plan, is that what you want to approve?
No, the open space restriction, the plan was already
Okay,
approved.
so approve the open
Space restriction is presented.
space presented.
You made the motion? I'll second it.
Second.
Oh, you already know.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. All set?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Julie, you wanna go?
I printed these out, but is there the original? I mean, has anybody else signed it yet?
This is the only one I've seen.
I'm gonna
So-
recuse
Wait,
myself again.
Dave,
Okay.
we do have an issue, because both of us need to recuse ourselves, but if we do, we won't have enough people to vote.
And I could recuse myself too.
Because he's doing the project for us, and Dave's doing the project for me, which is he's designing.
What's in a lifetime situation?
Somebody still has to. I'm the one who put these two
Has
together.
everybody signed?
So,
Oh, just the-
what do you think?
I think he's all right, because this is just preliminary. If you feel more
This is-
comfortable, that's fine. Whatever you want.
This is more for informational at this point, but it's gonna turn into something, so however you guys wanna do it.
See if
Why don't you stay and put your input
No,
in?
honestly, I think I'm gonna recuse myself.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm not actually doing any work for you. We're on the same job, but I'm not actually,
Give me a John Hancock before you
Well, why
recuse
don't I
yourself and do
recuse
it.
myself, Dave, and you stay?
All right, okay. No, you brought out a point. You're not working.
I'm not working for you.
Right.
I'm working for the other guy.
You're working for him.
John? Selectmen haven't signed,
No, they're waiting for us.
So, we'll do that Wednesday.
so should I pass that along to Nancy?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Just tell her, you send an email also, she puts on the agenda.
What's that?
Just send her an email so she puts it on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, what we've got? I'm Julian Brewer, and this is Spiro. He owns the property. This is at 340 West Boylston Street.
This is just a preliminary.
This is just a preliminary. This is now they're selling the Cajun food. Well, the owner of the property would like to do, this is the existing situation that's there. The orange is the boundary. The purple is the actual pavement, hard surface that exists. And this green is just a hole in the ground that somebody years ago decided to dig a hole in the ground, thinking the water's gonna go from here to here. But it doesn't, because this pipe is lower than this pipe, and it just created a mess. So we want to come to the board and fix this mess by installing it. I can install, this is only a 12-inch pipe, and this is a 24-inch pipe. If I put a 36-inch pipe between here and here, I'm not changing any flow characteristics whatsoever. I'm just gonna let the water, there'll be water in this pipe, but it will find its way to this culvert and go forward from all the drainage, which is not legally dumping onto this property. There's no easements, there's no,
Let
This
me
pipe
ask you
shouldn't
this
be here.
question. Could you change this to a 46-inch
we could,
and then go across that road with a 46-inch?
we probably could. I can only, right now, I can only work on my property, but
I
with
just
you
need-
guys' help. we
I
can-
just need a drawing to go 46 to the other head wall, and I think I can get DCI to pay this. I have money available for this.
You mean,
Okay,
you
so
wanna
we'll
go
go
46 to
48.
here?
We'll go
Yeah.
48.
48 to here? Bill?
Yeah,
From here to here.
they'll pay for it, but they won't pay for anything under a 46.
You can get
We'll make it
DCI to pay for
48.
that?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I was talking to
then-
them last Wednesday.
So then, what I'd like to do, I'm just gonna use this as a working tablet here. Right here on these pipes, it looks like at one time, there could have been an elbow here. And when they dug this and built this, they ripped that off, cause it's got the ends that looks like they pulled something off.
Right.
So, what we're proposing to do, and I'll get a detail of a manhole built in place here, that'll take this pipe to here, this pipe to here, this pipe to here, and the water will continue going the way it's gone
Yeah.
forever,
What I'm-
except that we're gonna fill
what I'm
this
trying to do is
giant
get- They will pay for this piece here,
Mm-hmm,
from your manhole across here, and to clean this up until DQ, which is right about here.
mm-hmm.
So that part they would
Yeah,
do.
sure about that.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Will the town put a catch basin here to catch all the street runoff and all that?
Well,
that's coming
that
through?
would be who could we get part of the involvement on all the people involved, that this should be a catch basin and a drop inlet? Because all the water I'm just gonna draw, this water's going like this, and this water's going like this, and this water's going like this, and this
Right.
water's going like this,
It's
so.
also got all those roof drain
And
and
you
got
got
those
all this,
two roads
this
up
whole
above there.
giant project, so.
Yeah, I had brought this up with DCR, and now they have money available from $1 to $4 million, which this would fall in.
Julian, so
Yes.
you wanna put a 48-inch right in here?
Yep.
And fill this whole thing in?
And fill that whole thing in, and you'll make it
And you're
into
gonna put a manhole here?
there'll be a manhole there.
Okay. So these 12-inch pipes are gonna go into that manhole?
Yep,
Go into the 48-inch?
Yep.
There'll be another
another
manhole here?
manhole, come out of this manhole.
48-inch.
The
to
good
that-
thing that may happen at this point is I could possibly drop this pipe down so that now we have a positive pitch.
Because, right, because that's what, a half inch
Right
off?
now I got a backwards pitch.
Well, all
Yeah.
depends on what the elevation is here.
Right. And I think I do have that, 94.46. And this one here is 95.17, so I'm lower here. So I could, it'll be flatter, but I can make it happen.
But they're gonna
That'll
clean, they're gonna have to clean that out anyway.
Mhm.
And as soon as you go down maybe
Now-
about 150 feet, it's good.
The issues that I'm seeing, that I want, and why I'm here to talk to you guys about are, this is where the river starts on all the plans.
Right.
You've got the, it's a 200-foot river zone. I'll use this one here for existing. Starts here, and this is the river zone, so we're totally in the river zone. It's a redevelopment project.
Right.
So that's, no question. It's also DCR
Mm-hmm.
in there. No touch zone. Well, this is quite an altered area that I'd like to go through this board and get everything on you guys to say we can do this, and then we're gonna go to the DCR for a variant. Actually, I'm gonna say an exemption, because this was created prior to 1992, without a question, and hopefully it'll just be a piece of paper that says they exempt this
When I
work.
originally looked into it, I wound up over at DEP with Judy
Judy Schmidt,
Schmidt,
Judy Schmidt.
yeah, that's who, because I've already met with him on
Mhm.
the property there.
So Julian, let me ask you this. This is just an open
just an
road.
open hole.
Just an open hole, right?
Just an
And
open
it's, there's always stagnant water there, so there's mosquitoes and stuff. I
the
talked to the
dirt-
neighbors here, they're all concerned about,
The
you
dirt
know,
that came out of here is sitting right
That's
here,
what that
just
hill
in a
is right there.
mess.
Well, let me ask the question. So this being an open area here, this being a closed pipe right now,
Mhm.
these are all closed pipes right now, correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
This is the beginning of what?
The flow of the brook,
So that's a brook.
that's a brook,
And that brook is on the cone bill.
correct. Correct.
So that's why you get the 2 to 400.
Yep. And I believe we can make a better situation out of this whole corner,
So what you're here right now is to ask for our approval to do what you wanna do.
in the
And
200-foot
then-
zone.
Then from here, once we give our approval to you, you'll take that to the DCR.
Yes.
On your
We may
exempt,
even do it simultaneously to a point, because if we're looking to get their support on replacing this,
right,
we'll show them what we're looking to do. And give them the elevations and the type of pipe and everything, and
I think that's a good idea.
that way,
the
they're gonna
other
be-
thing
I'm
that
gonna
I,
try to get them responsible from this point to this point on his behalf, because
right,
I don't know why I don't know how this happened. I mean, it was 30, 40, 50 years ago, but
You know when they
still.
built that, Julian? They built that back in the 50s, in early 60s.
wasn't that the Israel brothers
That's
that
the
did
Israel,
that?
Martin and Leonard Israel,
Yeah,
that's right. And back then, there wasn't no such thing as the wetlands.
No.
yeah, but then after that, though, they dug this up and
Yeah,
created
in the 2000s, in the
swamp.
2000s,
They
they dug all
created
this
a
up.
swamp, go take a look.
yeah, they cleaned it up, they mucked it
Who
out.
did that?
Same
got a
people,
variance. He
same
did-
people, because
I would
they
say they did, because
they
their
did it,
parking
because
lot
they,
was flooding out.
No idea.
pumped it in there, they pumped the water in there, and they dug it up
But anyway,
as a catch basin there.
That'd be
pretty
something
slimy in
to
the
stick
summer,
here
you're
to
right.
here.
Oh
That would
my
be great
God, it's
for him.
awful. And
Obviously, they're
it's,
gonna have to cross the road, and
Right.
there's obstructions in there, there's drainage, there's water.
Right, there's gas,
There's
there's
gas.
gas right here. So we gotta get a little bit more detail, but how do we, I don't wanna spend Spiro's money on the
Let me get my,
municipal part.
I have an application for this, so let me get the application to you.
Okay, and see
I-
if
I
I can
can
give
fill
a
it
bid
out
on
with you.
doing this piece of the job.
Right.
We'll get it to this point, and what happens from here to here?
I would see if
It's
they'll
up to
give you the
them.
money with this whole thing, because this is the Gates Brook,
Yeah.
but it's piped for over 500 feet.
Yeah,
It
right
starts
through
right
this
here.
parking lot and up through the,
Gates Brook starts right here.
Well, yeah, but
But
this is all
actually,
Gates too.
It's-
and it
Starts
ends
up
here.
there.
it goes under the main road here, it goes under the parking lot and under the building.
Yeah,
and
it used to
all.
come down this
This would be
side.
Woodland Street up here, right?
Yep, exactly.
So they bypassed all that with piping back
Ah,
in
okay,
the fifties.
I
See,
It
I
must
look-
have gone
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
at one time.
Even though this is private property, I would put it from here to there, see if I can't get the whole thing as a single unit. Because what is
Well, we
coming,
still gotta put a manhole here because we gotta.
no, I
get
understand,
this
you're gonna have
down.
to start one on this head wall too,
Mhm.
because you gotta have a way of cleaning
And
it
then you
out.
run the 48 from here all the way to here.
Exactly, exactly.
And we can drop it, so we'll get a positive.
See, the
If
governor's,
you can get me that information, so I can give a
I have it at the house.
bid for that, but on Spiro's, through this board, I'd like to just focus on what's in the orange.
Okay.
And then what happens here, right now, it's a 24-inch existing pipe. That's what I got here, 24-inch. We're gonna go 36-inch into this, and it's gonna go into a 24, which it will work. I can give calculations that this will work, because we're not changing, we're not adding anything to this
But it
situation.
would be ideal if you can go 48 from here.
Oh, totally.
It would be, and I'll tell you, because I filmed this area during a torrential rainstorm, okay? This whole parking lot is
It's underwater.
flooded like 6 to 10 inches, okay? So these two catch basins are not able to handle, okay? They're gonna, at some point, and I don't wanna be, they're gonna have to increase their intake. And if they're able to pump it through a 48, then it'll all
They might
flow.
not even have to.
I think once we fix
Once you
this,
change this and go to a 48, I don't
Okay.
think it's gonna have to.
I think it's
Okay,
gonna fix
all
it.
right,
Because,
so-
you know, you're taking the cork off the bottom.
Whatever, because I know this whole lot, and like I said, I have a movie to show it, is like flooded. I mean,
this
to
is the
to a
actual
point.
asphalt that goes.
So the
from-
reason that the money's available is the global warming that the state has now. And it's up to, this particular project qualifies for 1 to 4 million. The overall is $40 million that they have.
Okay.
But what I also wanna do in this, I don't wanna get into a big giant drainage, stormwater management.
You don't need to.
Situation, because this is already an existing situation.
Right.
I wanna bring all the water that's going, it's all coming to this point. We're gonna continue to bring it to that point. Drop it in the drop inlet, we can, I don't think I wanna put a sump on there, because that's just who's gonna clean it, just.
Why do you wanna put a drop in, or why don't you just put a regular catch basin?
Cause I need the water to come in from here also.
Yeah.
And here, and there's a lot of water coming off the street, and I don't know if a two-foot grate,
Why don't you put a double?
we'll do the calcs for that. If a double works, I know a throat, no question about it. You have a 6-inch throat, 2 feet wide.
No, I
that-
know.
So, we'll have to do all the calculations for that, so whatever works with what's coming from here, and from here.
Well, the reason that they're gonna give you the money is because I don't want the flooding down there anymore.
Right.
And that's what I'm picking it up on.
Yep.
So you gotta eliminate it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can.
don't run 48 into, a 24. or
No,
anything. Yeah.
we'll show a proposed 48-inch to continue to here, and I'll give the elevations, but that goes then to the next department to pay
You know,
for
let me
it.
ask you something, once the pipe is in, then you're just gonna make a parking lot?
Flat parking lot, and grade it all to this low spot, so everything sheds. It's only this area, so it's not really a big area. This little green area here, that's only 700 square feet. That's not really
No,
a
it's not
giant,
much.
What did you do with Mass Dot on this part?
nothing yet,
Nothing.
nothing yet, because that's all existing, so.
No, I know that.
But luckily, he's got a lot of leeway with Mass Highway, because no matter what he does, it's gonna be better. So we just gotta pick what's the best, so.
Well, again, maybe you can get some other money on green space to go along with the other project. It's all in the application, so you'll see it. It's like about
Right.
40 pages, typical Mass stuff.
Julian, I think, obviously what you're gonna do is an improvement, okay?
No question about it.
And not to tell you your business, but, being in the construction business all my life, I do the calculations, but I think a double catch basin.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I would rather overbuild it than underbuild it.
The only reason why a double catch basin on the top side, and then as you see, what they've done down at the reservoirs, they've got the grates coming in on the side too, so the water goes this way and this way. That seems to have, but if we don't need it, it's gonna be a real simple calculation to know what's coming in, 'cause it's only this area here that's going
Because
in.
you put a basin in here, say you put a 6-foot basin in it, now the catch basins are normally 2 by 2,
Hmm.
all right? So you put Could be 2x4, actually.
Right, 2x4. And we can even go 2x6 if,
You could.
because this is gonna be a 48-inch pipe, so this is gonna be probably an 8-foot
That's
catch
correct
basin.
again, yeah.
And it'd be a big
Right,
one, so.
right.
I just wanted to come before the board and just get an idea on, I know what I need to do now. We're gonna ask for I'm gonna go with a determination.
Yep.
Show this is what we got, so we all agree on this, what this is. This is just a drainage channel. We are within the 200 feet, but anything we do is absolutely an improvement. No matter what we do here is an improvement, so.
And I'll get
it's
you
a
the
redevelopment.
application, and maybe you can make that part of your, you're gonna do an RDA, I'm guessing?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we gotta do. That's a good thing.
Julie, I don't think you're gonna have to convince us.
No, that's been a problem
Yeah.
for years,
You've talked about that
a long time ago.
Seen it,
Alright.
you get that little fence that's kind of shaky anyway, trying to
That's,
hide it,
yeah,
not a good thing.
Do you have another one
I
for?
got another one.
it's a swamp over there, it really is.
No, it's a drainage ditch,
Yeah, there you go.
if it was what we
Ah.
say.
It's all in the wording.
It's a drainage ditch. Unmaintained drainage situation.
There you go.
There you go.
Mosquito,
So, okay, that's what we'll do.
So
on
that's
this
one RDA you're gonna
No,
file?
I have an IDA, this is another project, so we're
All right,
good.
I'll leave you then.
All right, this is for Mark Miola up off of 201 West Boylston Street,
That subway?
behind the subway.
Thanks a lot.
This is a piece of property that Mark owns.
Yeah, Mark Miola, yeah.
This is, yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
Mark Miola,
Yeah, he owns that little
and
shopping
it's
center.
201 West
Yeah.
Boylston Street.
20 years ago, I think the father bought it, to actually tell you the truth.
This is, the subway's on this corner.
Yeah.
Army Navy store's like right in the middle here. So what I've done is the topography of the whole piece, the boundaries of the whole piece. There's a brook here, DCR, 200 foot, 400 foot, wetland. What Mark wants to do is, it's just a completely overgrown parking lot, basically. This was definitely a lot of some sort. There's a septic system they put in years ago here, so this is built up a little bit, but now it's on sewer. So this whole gravel area here is not needed anymore. So what we're proposing to do is, now I know where this 200-foot line in an RDA, he wants to be able to work everywhere outside of your jurisdiction. Clean all the brush, there's debris, there's junk, there's also, it's a mess in here. He wants to clean it all up to this point, and then figure out what he wants to do. So the first part is an RDA to see if you agree with this plan and the way the resources are shown, and we're proposing to clean and maintain this dotted area. So it's completely out of the.
Where does this drain go?
That comes right down and continues. There's a drainage ditch right in here.
Now, what does that go down to that brook down
And
there?
it goes all the way onto this brook and goes over a cliff.
Can you continue that just so it's out of our stuff?
We could when we go to the next step, but right now, there's a big ravine there. I mean, it's a
There's a
good
head wall
swale.
right
There's
there.
there's a head wall and
Yeah.
a big swale. So we'll be above the swale, so nothing's gonna cause any issues there. And we could, during the clearing, I could propose.
I'm just thinking
I'll
of,
put wattles around this, just to protect that from,
I'm just thinking if you put a pipe in it and moved it down so it's out of our area, just for.
In other
this
words,
is out of your area. This is your area. We're completely outside
Oh,
of your
you're outside my
jurisdiction.
200.
Right.
I'm
We're
looking at
completely
backwards.
outside of your
200 right there.
jurisdiction.
Coming from the other side.
Coming from the other
Okay,
side.
that's why.
200. He's
Completely
way
out, and I just wanna make sure everybody's aware of that, so when he does bring a tree grinding machine, that they don't,
You see
what do
that?
they do?
Yeah. I have no problem with that. You're just gonna grind them, you're not gonna stump them then?
He may, I'm not
Even
sure.
If he does, if he
He's
stops
outside
that,
the
he's
zone.
outside our
This stuff was just
jurisdiction.
like pucker brush.
Right,
There was
that's
nothing
all it
really
is.
there.
Tons of pickers, it was
Yeah.
awful. But this is,
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I know where you mean.
but this we have to have a hearing, so, just to make it all.
No, I just wanted to come in case there was any problems, you could
I have no
set
problem
it
with
up. All right, so I would just do that then and file that next week, next month.
Can I file this?
You can,
No?
all you can do is hand it to her and consider yourself filed.
That's what we wanna do. Is there a fee? I didn't know if there was a fee, and if there is, I will get a fee to you.
We need tires on that truck, John?
Yeah, there's 195 for the RDA,
195?
95,
95
and 70 for the legal ad.
and
So
70 for
go
the
with
legal.
paper.
I'll have Mark drop that off for you.
So, I mean, it can be together in one check.
Okay. I'll make sure he brings that to you in the next day or so.
Now, how many quarts of ice cream would that be?
Thank you.
That's perfect. That's all I got. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get you that, you get a card?
I don't know if I even got one. This was looking for one earlier.
I've got that one actually sitting on my desk right now.
You can see it, right?
I even know where it is.
There you go,
A lot of times sitting on a desk doesn't mean anything.
somewhere.
It's not very good. I don't have a card, but
That's okay.
I can write it down for you if you want.
Yeah. I'll do it right on my agenda. It's a long form. It's about, like I said, I'm not kidding you, I bet it's 40 pages. I would love to get that section cleaned up down there. That and that parking lot. Then that whole entrance would be perfect.
Julian, how much land does he own there?
I think it's only like 2/3 of an acre.
Oh, it is that much though?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, there used to be a donut shop years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember that, Carl?
Their raised donuts were,
Oh, yeah, the donuts are good. Thank you, sir.
all right, thank you very much. When is your next meeting? When is it?
First Monday, whatever.
Whatever, June.
June,
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
That's our resident savant.
Perfect. Thank you.
Julian,
Thank you, sir.
okay.
You'll have that stuff by the end?
Yes, we were out there today to do the topo, so I'm hoping by the end of the week I get a plan. Thank you.
Thank
Good day, thanks.
See you guys later.
Just wanna see how a well-oiled machine works, that was it?
I didn't know if it was appropriate to, say anything. We had talked and
Right.
stuff, and I just figured maybe I'd be able to talk to you, and I didn't know if this was,
Oh, yeah, no, come on down.
I mean, I wasn't planning on doing anything in the meeting. But, you know more about what the situation is.
Yeah, why don't you explain real quick what it is, and then,
I'm having, well, my daughter's getting married in 2 months in my yard, and there's standing water from changes that have been made in the neighborhood. And, I think we just thought maybe a swale would be the way to,
right,
to deal with it, and you told me don't do anything until I
right.
talk to you.
Now, he'll know the land, this is down by that, what's
He
that?
knows the land,
Yeah.
'cause-
It's Campbell Road.
yeah.
Where is it?
You know, remember when you built the road and you raised it, and then there was a real steep drop off on my land? You were involved in this.
All right,
It was-
but for me to remember all the work we've done
Okay,
over the
well
years.
anyways, you built the road to go
How
from.
many years ago was that?
Oh, it must have been 15 years ago.
And you don't remember that, are you kidding me?
What address is it?
Mine is 54 Campground Road. It's abutting the campground there.
And your name is?
What is- Raymond Cardonio.
Oh, okay.
You know what that is, John?
I know Campbell, I don't know.
Huh?
I don't,
They-
with that,
Go 110, take a left on Campground Road, go down there, and just before the end of it, where the camp is, there's where his, take a left, there's like a dirt, what's the name of that street?
Buttercup Lane.
Buttercup
Buttercup
Lane.
Lane.
And his
And then
house is
it's-
at the end of it.
They're down there, the last house on Buttercup Lane, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The old farmhouse, it's 275 years old,
wow,
and it was the homestead for that whole area at one point. And it was deeded to the Newtons by the Queen or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, back in 1750.
Really?
Yeah, according to the Historical Society, yeah.
So basically what we have, this is his house here. This is a road that they put in up above, and then there's a drain that comes down here that just empties out right about here. And this is the wetland he's
is
talking
this a
about.
new road they built?
Yes.
I don't know, how long ago?
Well, we did some work on the road, but like I said, 15, 20 years ago, I don't remember exactly what we did up there.
I don't think it was
Any
that
event,
long ago.
I have wetlands over in here, so what I thought he could do is just kinda put like a little swale in, bring it right down. Just kinda let this water go a little bit further. This is a little bit higher than this, that's why I've got the puddling. This is his house here.
So you wanna basically dry that up, Ray?
Yeah.
So where's the wetlands, over here?
Yeah.
And what about over here, is there anything?
Well, right now, it's wet because this drain is
But
dropping.
it's seasonal?
Yeah,
Is this, what building would this be?
that's his
Ray?
house.
No, this is his house, right?
No, that's another house there, and there's a house is here.
Isn't
Well,
this?
that would be John DePietro's house.
I was gonna
then.
say John
John
DePietro's,
DePietro's
yeah,
old
okay.
house then.
Yeah, the road comes up like that.
So between the camp and your house is where the water settles? Is the
No,
camp?
it's, back 15 years ago, you raised the road about 2 feet. You put a road bed in there, and it dropped off abruptly, and I was concerned with that, and then you came back and you filled it in. Well, since then, they dug it up last year, and they dug like maybe a 3 or 4 foot deep trench, maybe 8 feet wide, and put trap rock in it. And
Who did?
the, Woodhaven.
Oh, the community, okay.
And then they also built about 1,000-foot road last year. And they put a pipe from way up in the back, from way up in the Sterling area. There's a pipe that runs along past the chapel, and then they swaled the chapel parking lot. So all that road from way up there now comes down.
Does it go into here?
Yeah, it ends up there. And what's happened, that thing I just told you about with the trap rock, it used to flow on that road that you had been, and was washing, there was stones showing and stuff, but it was holding the water, and it would flow down. And so there's a trench dug from down the bottom of that into the wetlands, and that was always flowing. But now that, the trap rock swale that's there now, the trap rock bed or whatever you call it, the water doesn't make it down to the drainage ditch. I took some videos and stuff, but I went down, I was shocked the other day, because my lawn has like geysers coming out of it. There's babbling water coming out of my turf, where I never had any issues. And the water always used to go down the trench that George had dug in the wetland. Well, now that they did that thing last year and brought all that other water, it's going sideways. Instead of
Do you
going
think it's
down the
just
bed,
because-
it's perking right through my land.
Ray, do you think it's just because there's too much water going in there?
Last year, it never dried up either.
Don't forget, this is all up gradient here.
Yeah.
And it didn't,
About 3% grade, so he's picking up sheet water going through.
it never happened until, what they did last year. And then since what they did, it's been wet ever since.
So you're proposing doing a swale from here down to the wetlands?
Right.
Well, but then I'm thinking that's my only option. But right now, I'm getting a lot of water that, literally, it's trickling and flowing. And, my lawn got eroded away, and there's a riverbed, rocks and stuff, and it's traveling through my yard. And it's not going down, because the thing that they put in allowed the water just to leach right into my yard. And my yard goes downhill, and that's up here. It used to go past my yard and into the trench.
This here is probably about 2 feet higher than here.
Who did the work up there?
So how do they do the work without, if it's not in the wetlands?
No one's been in front of us.
I know, that's what I mean.
I don't know who
I
did it.
don't know.
You know who the contractor was?
No, there was excavators and there were all kinds of machinery and stuff.
Really? No name on it?
I mean, they must have brought in,
But I mean, no name on the equipment?
I don't remember. I really don't remember that. It was just, some company. I mean, they put a road, you know up at the yellow gates,
Yeah.
Campground Road, and he put a road in from one to the other. And it was, I think it was very deep, and it's lined with some kind of a plastic, and then they put Pandolph Perkins material and stuff. And that, I think that is, that used to just be land that would perk, you know, that water would go into. Now, that can't leach. He's got a barrier under it. So all that water goes to this other pipe that goes all the way from there past the chapel, and then the road that I'm talking about is right here. The chapel's here, and way up in here, there's that road from the one yellow gate to the other. Then there's a pipe here with trap rock and all that stuff, leads to this one, and then it comes down here to the trench that was dug into the wetlands about a few years ago.
So the chapel authorized all of this? They initiated it? Who authorized it?
I don't know, it wasn't my, you know,
Do
I
you
had
know-
nothing to do with it.
Do you know what they were trying to accomplish? What was,
Just to get the water that was flowing across down the road, the road that you had built. It was washing it out, and we'd have to put some new material and grade it and whatnot. And, but then they had the water from up top, so they thought, well, we got the water up top, up in here, so if we can get this water to come here and dig that whole big thing they dug, filled with trap rock, so they diverted all the water from there, and it used to never go there. It used to go, you know how they have like the kitchen, then the mess hall, and that arts and crafts. It used to go way in the back of that. There was always water
There's a
flowing.
ball field back there too.
Yeah, there was always water flowing between the ball field. In fact, there's a pond back there. And it's been diverted away from that. So basically, they cleaned up, they stopped all their water uses and sent it to me. That's all.
So basically, what you're here tonight is you wanna have some type of swale from where that water is setting.
But I'm not sure that, when I talked to you, I didn't know this. I discovered it the other day when I,
So what did you say when you were up there?
Well, I'm trying to do the least obtrusive thing I can. Ideally, I'd hook into this interceptor drain and bring it down to here, because they stopped it short of the wetlands. And they dropped it on his property. This really should end down in here someplace. So I figured, well, why not just do like a little swale and,
but the water's not going down that. That's what I discovered. It's dry. The trough that is down here in the wetlands, it's
Right.
just, they just went through with the excavator and made like a 3-foot by a bucket.
right.
That is dry. And all the water is babbling across my lawn, and it's coming through that trap rock thing they built last year. It's, cause they dug down deep, and that was like gravel, so it's just washing right through. It's not even making it down to the end of that trap
So
rock.
you're saying this water here is not gonna, if you put it across, it's not gonna drain?
If I put a swale across?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a river.
What would you like to see down there?
I don't know what to do. That's why, like, I thought I could just put in a swale, but now I'm concerned that that's not gonna work.
Want to take a
because-
look at it?
Because it's,
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean,
Do a site review.
I don't know. I don't wanna cause any issues.
No,
or
no, no,
anything. I
it's-
just wanna, you know, I was gonna do the swale.
see, I thought it was all sheet water, and then I just had that. So the
I was
swale
shocked to
was
see
down there.
water coming out of the ground. Well, I got it here.
Well, I'd like to know who put the road in.
yeah.
I mean,
No
that's,
clue.
do you need a permit for that?
Yeah, of course.
Well, no, you don't. No, it's on
It's gotta
private
come-
property.
Your wetlands, you gotta have it.
Yeah, but if he's out of the wetlands, it's on
No,
private
that
property.
wasn't wet.
No,
That's
you-
way up in Sterling.
Oh, up there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
That's
I
way
mean,
up
it's
in-
wet down in here.
This is the wetlands down here, Bill.
Right.
The road was up in here.
So.
I thought they did a really good job. I mean, it looked good, and I had no
haven't
issue.
been up there in years.
I had no issues, but all I know is now I'm like shocked because,
But I mean,
I
these houses here are within 200 feet.
So what? That's not on cone, Bill.
No. no.
So as long as he's out of the 100 feet, he's out of our jurisdiction.
of our-
That's all you gotta worry about.
I don't know if this is helpful, but,
You mind if I hold that?
yeah. How come-
You guys can see that?
Yeah, kinda.
You can hear me? completely sloshing. I'm just walking across my lawn, and
What's your lawn?
that's my lawn, and it's never been, I've been there 25 years, and it's never been wet, you know. Maybe after a rainstorm, you'd get a little, you can see the water,
Was that actual lawn right there originally?
it was lawn, yeah.
Right. Just step over, the camera can get it for the TV.
Ray, when was this taken?
Day before yesterday. It's still like that now.
You got a wedding there in 2 months?
Yeah. That's really why I'm concerned, you know?
This is the first year that's happened?
It did it last year too. It
After
started
that,
after.
see it
they built
running
that
down.
thing, yeah.
I think we should do a site inspection on that,
All right, that's
site
fine.
review.
That's fine.
Ray, I think we should go out and physically see, do a site review on it.
When you wanna do it. I can do it anytime, I mean.
John, Kyle, when can you guys come out to
You
do a site review?
tell me, I'll be there.
I contacted George, and I told him, I said, the water's not going down the drainage trench anymore, and it's not making it down, it's all coming into my yard. And that maybe if we remove the trap rock and put a liner, and then put the trap rock back, then it would go past me, and he didn't respond.
We did.
Is he in Florida?
No, he's here.
I think the best thing to do is just do a site review.
I can do it any morning if you want.
Tomorrow afternoon?
I can do it tomorrow afternoon. Morning, I
I
can't.
can't do the morning, but I can do the afternoon.
Does that have to be posted?
No.
If it's
No.
more than,
No,
That's just for our edification.
yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow afternoon?
Got a time?
Work
Think-
day?
Just let me think here a minute. 2 o'clock?
Fine.
John,
Yeah.
Kyle,
2
That's
o'clock,
good.
good with
Ray,
you?
So we'll meet where?
we'll meet
Meredith is.
down at his place.
We're on
Campground Road.
110, take a left on.
Wait a minute.
You take
Give
that
me-
left,
Give me an address on
Butternut?
You know, I would call it 1 Buttercup Lane, because it's really 54 Campground Road, but it's the only even number on the odd side of the street.
1 Buttercup.
Yeah. Google's got it, and that
Okay.
was named after DePico's cow.
oh, really?
It was just a driveway sign, but Google came along and
Took a
put
picture.
it on the map.
They named it that. Are you good with that, Ray, for us coming down, and take a look at it?
That'd be great. I just wanna see what I can do, you know?
Now, will we be on your property, or will we be on,
We could be on my property.
on Woodhaven?
It's my property. You can see it all from my property.
Julian, yep.
Here's number.
Yeah, I do.
So you don't know who the contractor was?
Let me see.
I could ask George. It was
Not that it
somebody,
would make a
it was
difference.
somebody, it wasn't the, guys that I had seen before, it was somebody new, you know, somebody that I didn't know.
Love to be able to get that thing done that way. Things.
I might have, I could look for
Painful.
more photos and stuff, cause I
I would
probably
clean
took a
up the
picture.
whole section. We
when
would do the
stuff was
parking lot at
happening.
the same time.
I haven't been down here in years. I haven't been down here in years,
I know. I know.
long time.
There it is.
I like the chandeliers in the tree, it's that extra.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit different.
I picked up on that right away.
Yeah.
No offense.
Okay, let's move on.
All right.
Okay,
All right, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, as my minutes. Anybody read the minutes?
I did.
I didn't.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, take care.
Can I get a motion on them?
I motion, I make a
You like
motion. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the meeting.
All right, second? All in favor?
Uh,
My plans, I didn't bring them with me?
You didn't bring them,
No.
so we're not gonna talk about them.
No, okay.
Poison Ivy's not here.
Yeah, I thought she was coming tonight.
Supposed to-
Update on the-
Baldarelli, I think is done, isn't he?
Yeah,
As far as I know.
I thought, he's all signed off, everybody.
Yeah, and we have a letter that DCI is happy with it, and that was it. Treasurer's report, we finally figured out we do have money.
Even though it says negative,
Yeah.
it says we're supposed to have.
Miscellaneous mail, I read all that. Next scheduled meeting is June 3rd, and I need a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn, I make that.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.